Nigerian jollof or Ghanaian jollof?
You know the answer to that. I look at it like this. In life,
Oh, it's a crazy explanation.
Yeah.
if you have a chance to eat steak out of a golden plate
I know where this is going.
or to eat a burger that has been dipped in mud on the floor,
What would you?
which one would you choose? When people ask that question, it's like, why are we making excuses for?
Why are we even talking?
Why are we even talking about it? We ain't talking
This
about.
shouldn't even be a
We're
conversation.
not talking about the game. We're talking about practice.
Practice?
Practice.
Practice?
We're not talking about the jollof. We're talking about the rice. Which one is better?
What's up, people? It's Richdiet Podcast, episode
15.
15. We made
Big
it to
15.
episode 15, 1-5. I feel like that's a great
Milestone?
milestone or,
Yeah.
or a stepping stone. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah, for
mean?
sure.
It's definitely like, the journey to reach like over 100. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So we're heading there. We're making our way there. But I want to give a warm welcome to my brother, my mentor, my road dog. You know what I'm saying? The AFRO-Nation vibe curator,
Guru, yeah.
the guru, the mastermind, the Mr. Tantalization. You know what I'm saying? AFRO-Nation. Welcome, Mr. Femi Lawson.
Jeez. Thanks for having me, guys. It's
course,
it's
of
about,
course.
It's about time.
It's about time. Number 15, we're on the Vince Carter episode.
the
you know what I
era,
mean?
yep.
Through the legs.
Yeah.
Through the legs.
You know what I mean? With the arm in the rim type thing. You get me? So I'm excited to be here. I've known both of you guys for like many, many, many years. So,
Yeah, that's a
when
fact.
you guys told me to hop on, I was actually very excited to come kind of catch up with you guys too.
Yeah,
you know
for
what I
sure.
mean? So
Yeah,
Thanks
like-
for having me.
You've been all over, man. And I know you have a busy schedule. And I've been telling Zico, I'm like, yo, we gotta get Femi. We gotta get Femi.
Yeah.
And I know you two like go way back. You guys made
Yeah,
content together,
yeah.
but you guys haven't seen each other for a while.
Yeah, it's
true.
been a while. Yeah.
Right?
Because
Some
he
years.
became famous.
Became
he forgot about all the
famous, yeah.
little people.
You were in Hollywood on us, you know?
He became a real estate agent, pushing the big body,
Yeah, you know.
I see it, but I'm proud. I'm proud of the progression.
Yeah,
You know what I
likewise,
mean?
likewise.
And I feel like I love the fact that we could still tap in and still do
course.
our creative endeavors too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always fun seeing you like go off when you do your events, or you're going off to this show or doing that show. It's like, or going to Africa to do a show. Like
Yeah.
when I seen that, I was like, that's awesome, because like from where we first known each other to where we like are now is like it's so cool to see that.
The progression,
you're flying
yeah.
all over the world to do all this stuff. So it's cool.
And I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the big shout out to you, bro. You've been working like all the time. I see that, your countless amount of hours that you put in from hosting shows to always being on set,
Yep.
from being involved in the community work. Yo, kudos to you, bro. Like you're like just bulldozing
All
through all
over,
of it.
yeah.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
appreciate it. I feel like, going back to community, I feel like that's kind of what made all of us who we are. And then always remembering to like go back to community. You know what I mean? I think it really made us resilient in a lot of ways because, we grew up in, the West End, growing up in Jane and Finch, like,
Jane and Finch.
Jane and Finch, you hear about the area, everyone's like, oh my gosh, you grew up in Jane and Finch. But,
know.
we went through a lot of adversity, but it gave
Yeah.
us character.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I think it also allowed us to understand a different side that a lot of people don't get to see.
Yeah.
People grow up with, the silver spoon, and sometimes they don't get to see that other side of life.
100%. The hard work.
The hard work, growing up and hearing
Trust me.
certain people that you saw yesterday didn't make it home. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're no longer gonna be seen. They're,
Real spit.
and then understanding how to navigate that world, but then also kind of setting an example as well too. And I think that's one side of the narrative that doesn't get spoken about. You know what I mean? We glorify the hood. You know what I mean?
yeah.
As when we're young, we're all glorifying the
Yeah,
hood, but
yeah.
the part we don't talk about is like, all right, cool. Now we're the OGs. Like, what are we doing for the generation coming up?
For the
Yeah,
community,
so true.
yeah. Yeah, and I give both actually. I give both the I tip my hat on both of you, both ends of you guys, because you guys both work in community spaces and are constantly involved with helping back, giving a voice to the youth, effortlessly. You
Yeah.
guys just do it so natural. I love that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like it's hard to explain, but it's like that's what we're supposed to do as humans.
Yeah.
We're supposed to help each other.
Yeah.
So it's like when I see people struggling, it's like, if I can help, I don't care to gain anything from it. I'll help you. I don't
Yeah.
care. It's a little extra time out of my day. Fine, whatever. It doesn't cost much,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. It's
And it's also just looking out. I feel like, we come from a generation where, people looked out for us as well too.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
true too. Yeah.
I remember being in the lane, riding my brand new bicycle, riding to Connections, and one of the man them saying, yo, that guy over there wants to steal your bike. Just right away, right away, right away. You know what I mean? But I always rate that guy because he looked out for me. You know what I mean?
it's
And that's a small little example, but
Yeah,
just as you progress, I think it's important that you look back and you help somebody else so that they can progress. And then that's how that's what community is. And I feel like nowadays people be forgetting about that stuff, especially with
that's true.
social media.
Yeah.
And I was glad that I was able to have both the social media energy and the community energy in one. We didn't get lost like a lot of these people got lost.
yeah,
you know what I mean?
We started it off, and then you know what I mean. So we got best of both worlds. We got to be without the cell phone era, and then now with the cell phone, and you know what I mean. So it's we get to see both ends of it.
Man, I remember having the I don't know why I thought about this morning actually. I had the the flip, the stupid little not the sidekick.
No, this is the one that
the
flipped
Motorola one.
Motorola
no,
one.
the Motorola one that flips and it has the keyboard and shit.
Yeah.
Not the razor, right?
No. It looked like this. So it's the sidekick where you push up and then the keypad is there. Remember that?
I always wanted that phone, man.
Yeah.
I was
had
stuck.
the older, the shitty version where it's the Motorola one that flips up and it's a blue, green and black screen or whatever it was, shitty one.
I had the Nokia, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we just played Snake on that.
Yeah,
joint,
I remember
you know what
that
I mean?
too.
Yeah,
Free after 6 phone calls.
Yeah,
You don't
that's
call me
right.
till after 6. After 6, I'm unlimited.
Yeah, I remember those.
But it built character too, because
course. Yeah.
I remember them days. Some didn't have a cell phone, so
Yeah,
you
that's
call someone's
true.
house. You're calling a shorty's crib, and her mom and
Mom
dad's picking
answers.
up,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, hello, miss, hello, sir. Is so and so home? You have to have manners, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like you think about it. You see the kids today. Sometimes it's like you won't even get up for the old people on the bus.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
That's
But
true.
it's two different energies,
So
Bring back
talk
memories.
about a throwback. Let's get a little, let's let the viewers know, how did you you say you come from the Jane and Finch community, but how did you go from Jane and Finch to being on TV sets and acting in movies? Let's get the kind of the
story,
backstory of Femi
That whole
Lawson.
timeline.
I feel like a lot of people met me in different sides of life. Some people don't know about the YouTube Femi. Some people don't know about.
I remember YouTube
Oh,
family.
yeah.
You know what I
remember
mean?
YouTube
So I guess
Femi.
YouTube Femi started off. Obviously shout out to your broski.
Adam, yeah.
Shout out to Latoya. Shout out to
to
Rochelle.
Latoya.
Yeah.
Shout out to Marlon.
Shout out to Rochelle.
Yeah, she's moving to Nigeria.
Oh yeah, she's
I
in
thought
Ghana,
she
right?
Yeah, and she's
Oh,
moving
she's
to
moving-
Nigeria
oh,
now.
okay,
I said, what are
okay.
you doing in my motherland? Are you okay? But collective of us, young individuals, just with a lot of personality, a lot of vibe. Shout out to Dukes, you know what I mean?
Shout out to-
And we just had all these cool ideas that we just wanted to kind of put for the world to see. It took off, you know what I mean? From doing shit Toronto people say, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was a video that kind of really set this tone of Toronto from a different perspective that people really didn't see. And then when I see something like a Six Buzz coming in later, I'm like, damn, yo, we were really the OGs of this
Oh
joint.
geez,
yeah,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
because you guys, I would consider you a pioneer when it comes to creating YouTube content, especially based out of Toronto.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
100%.
saying?
Yeah, yeah.
You were creating the content with the four y'all. You know what I mean? You and Marlon.
And Slinky, shout out to Slinky.
You
too.
know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
So
yeah.
you guys were like really bringing that Toronto like
energy.
urban energy. You know what I'm saying? Like you guys went viral. Like a couple clips went crazy.
It went crazy, you know. And shout out to Drake. You know what I mean? I
the
remember
one
when
that he gave you the shout out.
and it's crazy because I didn't really know what going viral was. And I remember going to New York, and I'll never forget. I was in a joint, and I was ordering some oxtail. You know what I mean? You say
Make oxtail affordable.
Exactly, make oxtail cheap again. Shout
Cheap
out.
again, yeah.
You get me? And we don't say oxtails with an S. It's oxtail.
Oxtail.
I was ordering oxtail, and I remember the girl in New York was like, "Oh my God, like you look like that guy, like that Drake posted, right?" And then I was like, "Yo, my name is Femi Lawson." She's like, "Oh my God, can I get a picture?" Yo, she gave me extra oxtail.
Oh, shit.
Hey, when I received that extra oxtail, I said, "Life is good."
Life is good.
You know, but no, it was crazy, like just to see, you know, the influence of us, because we were all kind of coming up with that like social media arena, you know what I mean, and we're all pushing, you know, different narratives, you know, Marlon, he's, you know, representing Jamaica, you know, Latoya being Trini, you know what I mean, myself being Nigerian, and then I got a chance to go to Lagos, because I was going to Lagos like every year in December, so I was tapping in, and I remember the first time going to Lagos, and I remember I was at a party, and like, I don't know, it's crazy because there was so much people, and I remember two people arguing, and the person's like, Femi, are you okay? What's wrong? I said, I just don't want anything I don't want anyone to shoot. So they're like, shoot. This is not America. We don't shoot here.
This is not
Yo, when they
Jennifer.
said that to me, I swear to God, like, yo, I became so free. Because we come from an ends where, there's a little scuffle going on to the left. Like, everybody's on guard.
Yeah,
because we don't want to catch a stray.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And you don't realize, like, the PTSD you have from that.
Yeah. Or if someone's at a party and they come after you after that, or so.
Exactly. So I'm like, they don't shoot. And then, so it started to give me a different look on life. And then I remember coming back, and I was like, damn, this is the finishing piece that I really needed to understand myself. So the content I started creating started more leaning towards, you know, my roots being Nigerian.
Right.
So now I'm wearing like my Timberlands, I'm wearing ripped jeans, and I'm wearing a dashiki shirt. You know what I mean? Man, asking, yo, Femi, where'd you get that shirt? But at the time, this was before Afrobeats was popular.
Right.
This is before all that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because I was in the ends, and it was like, my babysitter Somali, so my whole year I'm speaking with her. She's like, Kale, Sobaha,
Fadel.
you know what I mean? Yakub Bahan, you know what I mean? And like, all my brethren are Jamaican, you know what I mean? I'm getting the beef patty with cocoa bread. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that.
You know what I mean? $2.75. Matter of fact, it was $2.50 back, you know, before the prices went up.
Before the inflation and all that.
And then on top of that, I have two Nigerian parents at home. You know what I mean? Being like, Femi, don't go and be joining Gango. You know what I mean? They're keeping me in check. You know, I'm outside playing ball late. Lights is on. My mom's coming in her wrapper. And she's like, Femi, did I not say you should come inside when the light is off? You know what I mean? And my brother's like, yo, Femi, your mom's calling you. And I used to be pissed about that shit. But, you know, when you fast forward, you know, those things saved me. You know, shout out to, you know, having, you know, my mom and dad in my life.
Parents,
you know, great parents and good family, good friends around me. But, it changed up a lot. And I think that contributed to, like, my ideas and, like, how, you know, we put out content. Our content wasn't anything you can like sugarcoat. Like we didn't write any skits.
It wasn't like
freestyle.
You know, like like planned. You know, a lot of it was just like, yo, this relates to my roots. This relates to Toronto. This is funny. Let's make it happen. And it was natural, yo. Like a lot of the content that you guys put out, it was like, yo, it was dope. It was well received. Like people are like tapping in, like you said, like people are recognize you. Like me and him just went to a burger joint prior to coming here. A guy goes, yo, you're Femi Lawson, right? And Femi's looking at her. You see what I'm saying? Like I'm like, cause and it all stems back to him making those content, right? And the guy goes, I'm Nigerian too, brother. Like, you know,
that's
so
awesome.
Now I was always big on making it like I thought it was so cool being African. Like, even before the hype of everything. And
before we were even cool, you know what I'm saying? And I know you could go back to your days where you're like, yo, being African was never cool.
I'm not gonna lie, I was different, bro. I was cussing out anybody that was getting at me.
Anybody.
I was like, yo, we lit.
We lit.
You know what I mean?
But they
I'm
didn't see
eating-
that. They didn't see that at the
and,
time.
and I'm not gonna lie, they didn't see it because they didn't have access to see it.
Yeah,
The only
yeah.
content they were seeing at the time, was like World Vision commercials. You know what I mean?
True. Yeah.
So it's like, how could you?
Yeah.
How
Bugs
could you
around
see
our
something?
face and shit.
How could you see something that you don't know?
Yeah, yeah.
Being Jamaican
There's
was the
other
cool
side.
thing.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I
that's
mean?
true, right?
Being
exactly.
Caribbean.
Everybody was really bouncing.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody was doing the Nollinga. Like
Yeah.
when I learned how to do the dance,
Or
I was lit. You know what I mean? Sean Paul get
Sean-
busy.
yeah,
I did
yeah.
the little squiggly leg
Yeah.
thing. I was.
Or
I
the
was.
signal the
What?
plane
What
or
you
whatever it
mean?
is.
God, they were bubbling me. Like I felt
yeah.
great. So I think it was like everything was in transition, and when you kind of fast forward. From there, a lot of eyes became on me. So, I started getting flown out to host at like universities. And this was happening while I was, going to Ryerson. I went to Ryerson, took criminal justice, minor in sociology.
I was gonna ask a question about that after, but you brought it up.
Yeah, but the reason why I took it is because, when I was in the ends, we were getting stopped by police. Getting searched for no reason. And I didn't want to be one of those people that just kind of just complained. I wanted to be one of those people who knew about what the hell I was talking about.
Yeah, know your rights.
Your rights,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
exactly.
And I remember at the time, my guidance counselor was like, you're taking academic classes, there's a chance that, you can get lower marks. Maybe you should take applied. You like using your hands. And then I didn't realize till later, that's a form of streamlining. They just wanted to get the students through.
Right.
You know what I mean? They didn't care if you went to university or they just wanted you to go through.
Yeah.
So for me, it was not only proving, my community wrong, but like proving everyone around me.
Yep.
Like, yo, what do you mean I can't do this?
Proving
Like,
the whole system.
the whole
like,
system.
Yeah.
So my whole thing wasn't understanding people; it was just understanding systems, and that's something that I carry through life. I feel like people can change based off of their environments and circumstances, but when you understand the system, it's gonna help you to understand the people as a whole.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I don't hold grudges or feelings against friends. I always tell everybody, I know the angel and the devil are not my friends. I'm gonna focus on the angel side, and when the devil side approaches me, I'm gonna call it out and I'm gonna deal with it when I need to. But I'm not gonna focus my energy on it.
Yeah.
What I need to focus on is these systems.
Preach.
You know what I mean? So that's something that,
That's right.
I kind of really put all my effort into.
Yeah.
I went to uni. I did the whole. I ran for head of the arts. And I never did none of that shit in high school.
Like
Yeah,
student
yeah,
counselor or
Yeah,
something
but
like that?
they told me, they're like, yo, Femi, if you get it, like, you get paid $500 a semester. I say, oh, word?
Yeah,
I say, yo,
of course.
sign me up. See, they put my picture all over the school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Guys are like, oh my gosh, Femi, you're running. I say, yeah, make sure you vote for me. You get me? And I remember they asked me when I was running at Rice, and they're like, yo, if you get elected, what are you gonna bring to the arts? And I'm like, to be honest, I don't know what I can bring because I don't even know what my power is gonna be. But vote for me and you'll find out. Yo, they cut me up in the papers. Yo, they're like,
man.
this cocky candidate. We have to understand. I'm coming from the lane. I'm coming from the ends into this university environment where I'm like the token, like black kid.
Yeah,
you know what I
that made
mean?
it out the hood.
Yeah, like we're in class and they're like, yeah, we're gonna learn about bad neighborhoods, and everyone is
Like,
like,
yo, that's my neighborhood.
yeah, like Jaden Finch. I'm watching Real Toronto and looking at the theoretical aspects
Oh
of
my.
snitching, and I'm like, oh, those are all my brethren, yo.
Like,
Like,
what's going on?
I'm like, that guy's a good guy. He just has a couple guns, you know.
Doesn't mean shit.
Yeah, man. But it's crazy because when I look at that now, I realize one specific thing, even when it relates to the music.
Right.
We grew up in a time where we grew up with a lot of dealers.
Yeah.
So the dealers were the ones who were like the OGs.
The OGs,
who,
yeah.
had certain rules. You know what I mean?
Certain
When
principles.
and principles.
Yeah.
And I'm using the word principles that they lived by.
Yeah.
And, you would hear things like, don't get high off your own supply.
Yep.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Don't crack is whack. Like,
Yeah,
you're a functional food head. Like, that's
Yeah,
whack.
yeah.
But now, I feel like the new generation, they're the users.
They're the users.
They're
yeah.
the users. And,
And
that's
the
why they're
abusers.
And abusers. So their music is around using and abusing.
yeah.
So the rules are not there anymore.
Yeah,
Not
the
at
principles
all.
are not.
And
yeah.
principles
that's
is
right.
not there. There's
Yeah.
no more principle.
Yeah.
Then I remember I was talking with, I was having a conversation with Corey Fila. Shout out to Corey Fila. He just
Shout out
released
to
something.
Corey.
And even on my sister's track, I remember, she did a song called Hot Heads. And I'm like, when they did all these raids, they locked up a lot of these OGs,
OGs,
who were like the father figures, the
Yeah,
mentors
yeah.
to
The
a lot of the
mentors
young ones.
in the neighborhoods.
You know what I mean? They're able to kind of make the young ones understand the systems.
Right.
So now when you don't have them understanding the systems, all you are is you're getting thrown into the matrix.
Yeah, yeah.
So now, you came out with a crazy, crazy record, and now you have a chance to make it all the way. But then this guy you've been beefing with from another neighborhood calls you out and says he's smoking your dead homie.
Yeah.
And instead of you to focus on the system, the big goal,
Right.
you want to focus on that minor
That's
thing.
right.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
That's
and now it's like, oh, RIP to another one. Like
Yeah.
every week somebody else is
Yeah.
dying, and it's like, bro, you
Sad.
guys didn't even make it out. Like Toronto's just a dot.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Do they know you in Malaysia? Like,
No,
do they know you in,
the
you know what I mean?
States, in,
Nope.
in
Yeah.
Brazil,
You get
like
me?
all these places where
So like whenever I see like some of these rappers as well, like I used to mentor them. I'm sure Zico knows too, because we mentored a lot of them. I won't mention the names before they're like, oh, what are you trying to say? But when I see them, these are the conversations we're having. I said, yo, what are you doing with the youth, bro?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're having real convos.
Real man
It's
convos.
not all about
sure.
it's not all about, oh my gosh, you linked up with, we all link up with those people. We're all in Hollywood. So let's talk. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah, exactly.
And I think it's important that, the people around have like the real conversations, because, I want to see, 30, 40 celebrities coming out of the city.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That are beef free. That actually can make money and make generational wealth and buy out the blocks.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
But that's only going to happen when you have a bunch of people who have that same mindset and who can operate on that frequency.
But that goes back full circle with like, us working in communities, and the reason why I help is because it's like I'm trying to show that together you guys can make something big. You can grow. Like if somebody calls me out, it's like it's not me being a bitch and not saying anything. I don't care, because like you said, I'm looking at the bigger picture. I'm going for the $100 million, the $300 million checks. I'm going for like, you know what I mean? So it's like if we're helping each other, we're working together. Sure, maybe we can make a couple of diss tracks, but at the end of the day, it shouldn't be I need to kill you, or I have to come and actually,
cause destruction.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
To veer our paths and then because we're on this linear path, and we're racing to this money, and then all of a sudden something comes and nicks it, and then all of a sudden now everyone's losing, right?
Yeah.
For what reason?
And it's sad to say, because it's like the generation that it's currently present right now, it's like they're kind of lost in the sauce.
Oh man, they're dead,
Like,
man. Anytime I
they're,
talk
like,
to those kids,
You know what I
holy
mean?
shit.
Like they're lost in the sauce. Like you said, they're drug abusers.
Yep.
They're like constantly, feeding their energy into politics and trying to, create chaos, which is like is not the way to really like live the life and not to reach your potential. Like,
And then we also have to realize that, being in Toronto, we talk about diversity, but we have a lot of immigrants that come from different parts of the world.
absolutely, yeah.
And that also means that, you have some people who are escaping, they're refugees, they're
already
asylum
escaping
seekers.
war-torn
You know what I
countries.
mean?
Yes,
So they
that's
got,
my point.
they got a lot of issues. So it's like understanding like, why did this person feel like this was so disrespectful? So it takes time to understand that.
Yeah.
And I feel like one thing about me is like, I don't shy away from conflict. Not all conflict has to result in, someone
Violence
pulling
or
out
something,
a gun or a knife. I think that's, to be honest, is pussy. You know what I mean?
Of course, yeah.
Like, you should be able to deal with a situation and still be level-headed.
Yeah, have a
I've had a
debate or
lot of
something,
situations
yeah.
with individuals in the city, right, where it could have gone that way, depending on the path that I decided to take on it, right?
Or the approach.
Yeah.
I've had situations where it was like, how can I deal with this situation without it leading to someone being on CP24, right? And that takes a certain level of understanding. It takes a certain level
maturity.
Of course.
of maturity as well,
of
too.
course.
It's possible. Those are the real OGs. Those are the real ones that, like, will go far. Because, no one in this life is going to go through life just scot-free without any conflict.
Yeah.
How do you deal with your conflict? You know what I mean? And I think that's something like, again, when I'm doing my community work, that's my practice zone. My practice zone is when I'm doing the community stuff. I'm talking to this youth who's like, yo, I remember one of my jobs that I had, I was working with Femi youth, and my job was working with individuals who went to jail for murder and are trying to basically be operating in society.
In
And it's
society.
crazy, the conversations I'm having with them is like, don't get it twisted, you know. You guys are all kings and queens, you know. Like like my mom brought me to Nigeria. I've been to the palace and I've seen shit that we all come from. I've been there, I've seen it. Let me tell you what I've seen. Let me show you some videos. Let me tell you about Mansa Musa. You know what I mean? The richest black man that ever
man,
lived.
yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
get what I'm saying? That's all of our lineage.
Yeah.
Don't get caught up with this TikTok, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Low
bullshit.
vibrational
Yeah,
bullshit
yeah.
that they're feeding
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Because at the same time, you have to understand everything's brainwashing, right?
Yeah.
You
Of
know,
course.
these podcasts that people listen to, you know, the clips that they choose from the podcast that they
Yeah.
promote.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Would this conversation be put up? Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe they might put up something. If I took a jab at someone though,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For sure that will be put up.
Yeah,
Or I
of
said
course.
some wild shit about girls.
Yeah, yeah.
That shit will be put up. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Or
it's
if
kind
you
of
have
like,
OnlyFans
yeah,
or
you know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like, who's,
degrading
Or if you're
shit.
dissing someone or something,
Yeah.
it's like, oh yeah, let's put that clip, it'll go viral. Like,
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
But-
it's like we gotta really take in, you know, what are we taking in? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
somebody said, I heard like our phone is like our Bible or Quran. You know what I mean? In regards to like how
So
we're looking
true.
at it every
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Like what are we really taking
Yeah.
in?
What Yeah.
And I don't get it twisted. I'm somebody that, like sometimes I catch myself being like, yo, I'm looking at some fucked up shit. Like,
Yeah,
regularly.
like,
I gotta
we're not
tune out.
perfect. Yeah, that's
You know what I
true.
mean?
Yeah, that's
And that's
fair.
why, you know, at the same time too, you know, shout out to, you know, Islam, you know what I mean? And Ramadan. Ramadan times is usually when that fasting period,
Yeah.
that's the time that I'm like, yo, I know for the rest of my life, there's gonna be 1 month in every year where I fast from all these things. You know what I
the
mean?
shaitan, all
And you're
the
able to kind of like
nonsense.
really just tune in
Yeah, yeah.
and just be like, yo, let me be with myself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
yeah, man.
Focus on the spiritual side and kind of cleanse the mind, the body, the soul.
Yeah.
And, you
So
know.
you talked about Islam. Were you born Muslim or how did you?
Yeah, I was born. I was
Oh,
born.
you were.
Yeah,
You know, all this time, I swear, I thought you converted.
You know what
I don't
it
know
is?
why.
You want to
I-
know
I
the truth
just-
though? And Aaron knows too, because I'm gonna bring him into it. Yo, we outside. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like my mom always told me one time. I like the fact that I had my mom and dad example. My mom was someone that would pray 5 times a day.
Yeah, my
She's
mom
been-
too.
mashallah,
She's
bro,
been to
yeah.
she's been to Mecca, Alaja,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know what I mean, touch Kaaba. And my dad, he would pray. Some he would pray 5 times a day, but he was someone that was like, you know what? It's not about, you know, doing all the actions. His
Yeah,
his
that's
was,
my dad
how's
too.
your heart?
Yeah.
How's your heart? Are you a good person?
Yeah.
Did you
Yeah.
open the door for the old lady over there?
Yeah,
Some people will
yeah.
be screaming, oh, they'll be screaming every surah in the Quran.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you see somebody that did something that you didn't even bother to help them.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
is that
yeah.
person better than the other?
Yeah,
You know, so
yeah,
I
yeah.
grew up with that balance of both.
And that's
Yeah,
amazing.
And I think it was really good for me personally because, you know, as I get older, I'm able to now say, okay, you know what? Let me step more into my spiritual zone
right.
like
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean? It
Right,
wasn't
right.
forced on me.
Right.
Like more times,
Right.
you know, as a kid, like if anything's forced on you, you're probably not gonna do it.
You're going the
Yeah,
opposite
yeah,
way.
yeah,
You're gonna go the
you're always
opposite
gonna
way.
You're gonna
question
go
it,
opposite
right?
way.
So for me, I'm always just trying to be like, you know, be the best version of myself.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
let me be a nice person. Like, I'll be in my elevator, in my condo, and like, yo, yeah, I'm a 6'2" black guy with a beard. I say hi to everybody,
Yeah,
even the
yeah.
person that I know is scared.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, how's it going? How's your day going? Uber drivers, I'm talking to them.
Yeah, yeah,
Because I
always.
need you to understand, like,
Yeah.
bro, have conversations. This is human. This is
Yeah.
human interaction.
Yeah. Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? And it's crazy because, you know, I be breaking the ice on a lot of conversation. You'll realize how many wonderful people or people that are waiting to say something
Yeah,
to
and
you.
the
Yeah.
stories they have. Oh, I
Yeah.
love listening to people's stories,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
It's so nice.
When you're outside in the general public, you're constantly meeting all types of energy, and like you might like if you get lost in like in the society's way, you might forget what you're like, you know, how you were brought up like as a Muslim, you know, like make sure you know you pray 5 times a day,
Yeah.
or you know you be nice to people, or you give, you know, charity, things like that, right? And it's like I'm not perfect either. Like I go pray every Friday, you know what I mean? Femi would hit me up. It's like, yo, are you gonna go pray? I'm like, yeah. You want me to pick you up? And it's just small thing as like, yo,
Yeah.
let's go pray together. You know what I mean?
And I'm glad that we created that because,
Yeah.
you know, we be partying like.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
party.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But I was glad that like at least one time in the week
At
that on
least.
Fridays.
Yeah, that you have
Yeah.
that time is
That
dedicated
is like
just
that's
for
it.
God.
And it's
Yeah.
like come on, let's be real. You have 168 hours in a week.
Yeah,
you can't
yeah.
dedicate 30 minutes out of your
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
week
yeah,
to go
yeah.
pray, bro. Like, come on,
Yeah.
that's something like. If you're in the clubs, partying, doing all this, in the clubs, it takes you how many hours? You're in there like 4 hours.
Yeah.
3 to 4 hours in the club.
Or you stay as late out.
As late as well, you know what I'm saying?
What's the
Crazy.
after hours?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And you know what? I don't even look at it specifically just with Islam, but just in general, like spirituality, like just having that time where you're able to, kind of be one with yourself. Whoever you pray to, whoever, whatever you follow, just being able to just have that time and really reflect and sit back, you know what I mean? I think it's important, especially in the times we're in right now. 100%.
So important and so crucial. You got to step back, reacquaint, get back to your real core values and just like, because society can have you lost in the sauce at the end of the day, you know what I mean?
Sure, everything is brainwashing.
Yeah,
man.
it's messed up out here, you know what I mean? And I think that goes down to a lot of the kids that coming up these days because it's like a lot of kids maybe might miss a father figure or a mother, you know what I mean? So it's like they could be easily swayed to like, the street life or, just being outside and causing, chaos.
It's true. Like even growing up, I realized, I think when I got older, I think when my pops passed away, the other day it was like 6 years. And I realized having a father figure really made a big difference.
Big impact,
in how I thought about things, you know what I mean? Because, it's the influence, it's the advice. I would sit down and my dad would have reasoning sessions with me where I'm sitting down for like an hour and he's talking to me, putting me on game.
Yeah.
I remember, shout out to Dookie Dukes. Dukes used to talk to my dad for hours.
Sick.
And my dad is like, you see, I came to this country, and one thing that you guys should always have, he said, one day, if you guys continue working your 9-to-5 jobs, the white man will look at you and he will say, your work was good, but you have to go. Thanks for your time. Then you will look at your life and you will say, what did I do in my life? He said, in this life, you must have your own business, have a good accountant, and have a good lawyer. You know what I mean?
That's good.
Yeah, and it's crazy because it's true. You know what I mean? You wanna make sure you do something for yourself, and I think that's possibly why, even though I work my different jobs and I go to school, I always made sure I tapped into my creative side because that was something that was me.
That was your
You know
passion.
what I mean? That was my passion.
Yeah.
That was something that I created for myself. From that, I expanded and I did the Tantalization party series.
Talking about creating stuff. I know you created this brand that's like heavily like flowing through like the turn up culture, Tantalization.
Yeah.
Tell us about this.
How did you come up with that?
So the story behind Tantalization, I was in Nigeria one year, and I'm usually there when it gets cold here. And I remember escape the winter. So
leaving soon then.
I remember going into this restaurant, right? And everyone was just happy, bro. And I don't know if it's because I came from Toronto where it's screw face and everyone's like cold and shit.
Yeah.
But everyone was just happy. It was vibrant. The colors of the clothes that people were wearing, and I just remembered. And I looked up and I saw the sign, and it said Tantalizers. I was like, oh, that's cool. I like that. Yeah. So then I came back, and I was, I'll be hosting like everything out here. You know what I mean? If Blackson is not hosting,
yeah.
Are you really gonna go? I was
Yeah.
like, that's the other host of the city. But I remember saying tantalizing, and then one girl was like, "Yo, if you ever had a shirt that said that, I would buy it." And I remember Afro-Fest was coming up.
Oh, okay.
So I had printed out 100 shirts and 100 hats saying Tantalization. And it sold out.
Oh shit!
I didn't even know what this meant. I just knew. I liked the word, and it was lit. But to be honest, when I think back, Tantalization is good vibes, good vibrations. Tantalization. That's the energy it comes from.
Yeah.
It comes from the expression of being proud of who you are, where you come from, and being able to express yourself and just being at the highest frequency.
Yeah, like a natural form, like positive.
Tantalization is the highest frequency you can get on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know everyone asks what it means, but that's actually what it means.
Oh, really?
That's
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
the dictionary meaning.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
So
awesome.
for me, whenever Tantalization is involved with anything, we want people to experience that high frequency.
Right.
That's why when you come to my parties, you know what I mean, for people that have been there, they're always a good time.
Yeah.
Like I've had people say, yo, I never dance in Toronto, I dance at your parties.
Yeah,
And at the same time, we generally try to look out and see the up and coming people. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of movements that have happened since Tantalization.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In the Afrobeat scene. And, you know, we've worked with almost everybody in the city. You know what I mean? I remember back in, when was it? The first time Wizkid came down, we had DJ Tunes, Wizkid's DJ. I think, we had Mimsy, that's part of Caruza. Shout out to Caruza. You know what I mean? And we had the party like Apartment 200, lit. You know what I mean? Recently, you know, 2023, we just did, you know, David O. He pulled up.
David O, yeah.
You know what I mean? After hosting, you know, Budweiser stage, 16,000 people. You know, and it was just like, it's kind of like the compound of energy, the compound of meeting people, vibes, and
you curating the vibes.
you know what I mean? And it's
like
like
that,
it's just
compound
growing.
vibes.
Compound
Yeah, I like
vibes. That's what it is. You know, shout out to AY Lawson. You know,
Shout out to Lil Bro.
Lil Bro's. He's doing his thing.
I
got all these little baddies in the streets. Like, oh my gosh, are you AY's brother? I was like, damn. I remember the days they used to say, "Are you Femi's brother?" You know.
I know. I feel the same way too. People be like, "Oh my God, are you Adam's brother?" I was like,
You guys hate that shit. Eh? we used to love it. Like, that's my little bro.
I mean, it comes clutch sometimes. You know. Sometimes the shorty be like, "Oh yeah, you're too young." I'm like, "What? I'm almost 30. Stop playing with me."
So you know that's kind of how you know, Tantalization came about, and we were able to do things, you know, across the world too. You know, we had events in Lagos.
Major.
You know, we did an event out in LA with Tribe. You know, shout out to Tommy with Tribe. We had a Tantalization collab pool party, and I remember, I think, shout out to Matt Mogul. He was out there. I said, yo, pull up early. And he was like, yeah, I'll pull up, you know. And then he pulled up, and, yo, it was sold out. Man was like, yo, Femi, I'm downstairs. I can't get in. I said, did you see the Tantalization wave was only in Toronto? So, you know, it was a lit
so
party.
You're doing
though.
good, yeah.
Yeah, it's going, it's moving. And I think the ultimate plan for Tantalization moving forward is, you know, we want to create a brand that's more than just, you know, parties. We're working on something called Tantalization Sessions. And that has a lot to do with the music community as well. You know, the playlist is out. You know, we're working on the playlist.
Yeah, I love the playlist, man.
Yeah.
Just the wide variety of different Afro beats and like urban hip hop, R&B. It's like it's crazy.
Because really and truly, it's Toronto, right?
Yeah.
And you know, if I was to sit here and say that I'm only Afrobeat, that's only a certain part of my identity.
Right,
I still listen to, like, you know, all the local rappers as well too, and we be listening to everything else that's popping too
in
right?
America and all over. Yeah,
you know, so that's kind of how, you know, that has come about. You know, we're gonna be releasing something real soon. You know, Tantalization Wave Sessions coming soon. You know, you're gonna see it in the next.
So one thing that I'm actually like, I'm like so surprised every time I hear this song, the song with K Forest.
Guidance.
It's like Guidance.
Yeah.
And it's like, I wanna ride, man, tantalize it. And it's crazy. Have you heard this song?
No.
Bro, so this song went so viral. Femi did a collab song with K Forest that Travis Scott
Sampled
it, right?
He remixed.
He remixed it.
Oh,
remixed
shit.
that
Yeah.
shit.
So the story's crazy. You know, shout out to K Forest. K
Shout out to
Forest
K Forest.
hit me up. He's like, Femi, you know, I like how you use tantalizing in your videos. And he's like, I used to watch the videos. He's like, yo, I made a track, and I want you to hop on the song.
Yeah.
So at the time, I was just doing bare parody music. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That I remember.
Yeah. You know, I did Hot Niger, you know, the Bobby Shmurda remix, the joint with LaToya Holdia. It was going crazy. So, but I remember my barber.
Yeah.
I was going there. My barber's like, you know, Femi, you love making all the joke music, but you know, you have talent. You know, you have to make real tunes. But the problem was, the reason why I didn't make music like that is because I felt like I didn't have enough experiences.
True.
So now, when he approached me, this time, you know, I've flown around the world a
Yeah.
little bit. You know what I mean? I got
Got
my
some
wings.
exposure.
I got a little exposure. You know what I mean? You got to look at 1, 2, 4 and baddie. You know what I mean?
I got my confidence
Yeah,
out.
I'm feeling nice. I'm tantalized. So then, I went to K Forest's house and DF. You know, shout out to DF. Sick. We were in the studio and we made the track. And then 4 days later, I get back-to-back calls from K Forest, and he's like, "Yo, Femi, you gotta pull up." I said, well, "What's going on?" You know, I'm thinking it's an emergency. He presses play. Travis Scott remixed the song
and put it on the
already.
album.
Travis Scott now flew K Forest to LA, and like, yo, the song blew up. The song went double platinum. You know what I mean? And we're on the original. And I was like, damn, yo. This was what, 2016?
2016.
You know, they played it on OVO radio at the time. It was that Caravana, it was 2016 was a good time, you know what I mean?
And it's crazy. I still play that song till today.
It's still
I
nice.
almost want to pull it up right now.
Yeah,
we gotta throw it in the podcast right here, you know?
Throw it in there, you know what I'm saying? Before we get copyrighted.
Exactly. We'll put the link for you guys.
Wait, don't we get what's it called? Authorization from you right now?
Hey,
I mean,
shit.
shit.
I mean, I don't know about
I don't know about Travis now, because you know Travis.
Okay, all right.
You know,
Travis-
they probably still owe us a little bit of royalties.
You know what I'm saying? Travis, we need that back end.
Travis, that back end. We're here. We are your brothers now.
We're
Come on,
your
share with
brothers.
us. Eh?
Oh,
But yeah, that was a crazy experience. But it was even to show, like, you know, going back to kind of where we came from, you know, your artistic ability, you know, the ears are going to hear it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a reason why certain things stick and certain things don't. You know,
Right.
where did it come from?
Yeah.
When it comes from love, it might take a little longer, but it's long lasting.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So
right.
I try to make sure that everything I do is on that vibration of love, is on that vibration of like real collaboration. And yeah, man, it was a crazy experience.
Yeah, no, it just goes to show that, you know, you came up with this idea and then it inspired, you know, like others to want to like, yo, I love that word tantalization.
Yeah.
And you guys made a track. Next thing you know, Travis hops on it. Next thing you know, that song goes double platinum. You know what I mean? And it was like, it really came all the way down from your idea, deep down. You know what I'm saying? And that's amazing, bro.
I appreciate that.
It's like inspired to aspire. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Come on, that's
Come on, you know what I'm saying? One, two little bars, you know what I'm saying?
That's what's up.
So talking about like how Travis Scott found it, how do you get to the next level with what you do? Like, do you reach out to people? You know, I know you was a movie or was a show that you were recently
Both. Yeah.
both. Okay,
Yeah,
so
Bria Mac, get a life.
yeah. So how did that come about? Like, how did you know, for everyone to understand, you know, because there's probably people that are out there that, you know, want to do what you're doing but don't understand how to get to that level, right?
Yeah.
It's like, how do you get viral? How do you do these things?
I never create something with the intention of trying to go viral. Let's just start there. I think when it becomes the first thought in your head,
You don't go viral.
Yeah, you don't go viral, and the authenticity is not there.
That's right.
True.
I think about what are the things that make me passion. Like, what's my passion? What do I love, right? And I know that, you know, I love telling stories. I love, you know, Toronto. I love, you know, being Nigerian. You know what I mean? You know, cute girls. I love flirting with them. Like,
Hey, man, don't get yourself in trouble, man.
you know, peacefully. But so I think for me, that was kind of always my direction.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time I got hit up was via Instagram. This guy hit me up saying, you know, what's your email? I want to hit you up about something. I get the email, and it's like, we want to do a TV show. And we want to feature you with a very big actor based in LA, and we want to talk to you about it. For me, when I see those emails, I'm like, this could be like a local scammer, man. You know?
Yeah.
As soon as man's gonna ask for my bank account info, like F all of that.
You're like, I'm Nigerian. I'm used to this.
Bro, you can't finesse a Nigerian.
You can't finesse that
Like,
fuck.
The Prince of Nigeria.
So I get on the phone with the guy, and the guy's like, yeah, yo, Femi, is this you? I say, yeah. He's like, yo, actually the show is gonna be featuring you and Michael Blackson. And shout out to West Hype, because we used to do Africa versus the West Indies. So I seen Blackson before, when we did the Africa versus West Indies tour and stuff like that. But like I've never worked with him on an acting gig.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So when the guy told me that, I was like, man, whatever, that's not true. He's like, no, real talk. Are you free tomorrow? Like, can you fly in?
Yeah.
And I said, I'm not paying for the flight. So that was my reaction. He's like, no. Like, yeah, we will handle everything.
Yeah.
We got you covered.
Bro, they got, it's first class flight.
Oh, man.
You know what I mean? I got there, and you lit when, you see the sign.
The Hollywood
with your name.
sign.
No. The
Oh,
sign in
the
the
sign with your
airport.
name. Okay.
With your name on it.
Yeah, that's when you know you made it.
So I walked a little different that day.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
A little pep in your
Got in
step.
the all-black SUV.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Checked into the Beverly Hills Hotel.
Oh, man.
And then it said to me, sir, everything is on the credit card, so you can get anything you like.
Room service and all
I
that.
man.
said, this is the lie. We thank God. So anyways, that experience happened, and I remember talking to the director. I said, what made you like consider me?
Yeah.
Because the guy, when I met him, he was on the phone like, yo, I'm with Femi Lawson, he's here with me. He's on the phone with his cousin, like, geeking. And I'm looking at this guy, I'm like, this guy's in a Lambo, like, I'm geeking, like, yo, dog, you're doing your thing.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know what? When I was growing up, shout out to Ivor. He said when I was growing up, he grew up in Dallas, Texas. He's Liberian. He said when I was in high school, I always watched your videos, and I loved how you always made it cool to be African.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And he's like, I always told myself I'm going to work with you one day.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's how it happened. So, going back to your original question in regards to like, what kind of motivates me is purpose.
Purpose.
My purpose was
like that.
I want to be the authentically core version of myself. Whoever I am, whoever I know I am, that's what I want to put out there. You know what I mean? Like my friends that know me, when they see things that I do, they're like, yo, that's Femi.
Yeah.
That's
like,
Femi,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? So I want to make sure that I stay consistent with that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how a lot of opportunities came around.
That's awesome, man.
No, that's a great story, man. And I know you probably was like, yo, like I got to be on a set with Michael Blackson, like one of the actually the first like African actor / comedian influencer, and you're looking at this like, yo, my purpose is really coming into light, like
No, it was a crazy experience. Like we were shooting on the same set that they shot Wolf of Wall Street, my G.
oh, that's major.
You know what I mean?
That's major.
I'm there on set. We got cameos, Young Jock. I'm joking with Young Jock on set. You know what I mean? We got Ashley Larry from the Chappelle Show.
Sick.
You know what I mean?
Ashley Larry, yeah.
And I remember him coming to me and he's like, man, can I say something to you? He's like, I have never seen anybody call anyone a stinking goat and keep in character the way you did. You need to do some stand-up, man. You funny as hell. He's like, I don't give a fuck about niggas, but you got something. And I'm like, I'm gassed.
Yeah.
But for me, one thing I loved about it is I was still me. I wasn't acting.
Yeah,
I didn't put on the American accent.
Yeah.
I didn't say finna, because we don't say finna in Toronto.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, shout out to Katie Albert. I was talking to her yesterday. You know what I mean? She put me on a lot of the Nigerian food out in LA. She's a plug. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's one of the original Fanta girls.
Okay.
Fanta. Don't you want that?
Yeah.
She's like, you know what I mean? But it was just crazy, just being in a room full of those people, like, and I always told myself that I'm a superstar too.
Yep.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I never looked at anyone higher than me. Ever.
Yeah.
Even if they had more money or they had fancier clothes, I always saw myself high. And I think when you manifest that and you really believe it, it happens to you.
Yeah.
It
for
sure does. It
Mm-hmm.
sure does. And I feel like you don't really compare yourself with anyone, because you're like, yo, I don't need to compare myself. My only competition is just myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's key to like just finding your purpose for anyone out there. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Either
Yeah.
you're acting, you're doing real estate. Just
Yeah,
don't compare yourself with anyone else. Don't compare the numbers or the stats of someone else. You know what I mean?
I feel like we're in that's the main thing that kills a lot of dreams for people.
Yeah, it's comparison.
It's comparison. I remember, and another thing, I remember when I was in school, there was a professor at the University of Pennsylvania, and the study was on positive psychology. and it said the human brain does three things. It thinks about the past, the present, and the future. He said, she said the problem with thinking about the past is that it's never gonna happen again.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of times where people suffer from depression because you're constantly thinking of that
Yeah.
thing that happened.
Yeah.
Yo, back in the day, yo, I used to be the best. Remember that game I scored 51
exactly.
points?
They don't look ahead.
Bro, it was
Yeah.
high school.
Yeah.
We in 2023. You graduated 30 years ago. You still
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about that?
Yeah, yeah.
The problem with thinking about the future is that it hasn't come yet.
It hasn't come.
You know
so
what I mean?
You,
So
you
you
don't
know,
know what to expect.
You know, you're thinking, oh my gosh, I'm turning older, or my parents are gonna die, or what if I don't get married? You know, that's where a lot of anxiety comes from. You know what I mean? Because of the unknown.
Yeah.
So the key in life is to think in the present. So even if you think about the past a little bit, you always make sure you come back to the present.
Of course, you have
like
to.
in this second,
Yep.
in this
this
minute,
moment,
in this
yeah.
moment, what am I gonna do? We're here on this podcast. We're having
Yeah,
a conversation.
yeah.
Yep.
That's where I'm gonna be at
Yeah, that's
because
where I'm
I
at.
don't know what I do in this moment will dictate what happens after.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? But if I'm not thinking in this moment, then everything that I'm doing is based off of past stuff or
Right.
things that didn't happen.
Absolutely.
So it's,
Yeah.
you're gonna crash.
Yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I
I
mean?
like
And I
that,
feel like
actually.
that's where I try to stay. I try to stay in the present.
in the present.
You know what I mean?
No, that's
Yeah,
game.
I like that. It's
Little,
deep.
little psychology 101.
Yeah.
You know, I'm in Nigeria now.
I
You know, we
didn't-
have
I
our
didn't-
masters.
You know what it is? It's funny because my thought about stuff like that is like humans think they only think about the negativity. Like they can only see the bad things and they only create bad habits, right? So this whole journey of like what I've been trying to go on is like forget about the bad stuff, forget about thinking the negative thoughts, right? Stop thinking negatively. Stop, dwelling on bad things,
It's true,
And
yeah.
because we could sit there and be like, oh man, I'm sad. It's easier to be sad than it is for you to say, I'm happy.
Yeah, no,
You
absolutely.
know what I
yeah,
mean? So,
yeah.
and I've always been trying to change, like, even before I go to bed sometimes, well, when I was younger, I used to say to myself, I'm happy. Before my eyes shut, I'm like, I'm happy. Nothing's going to ruin anything. I don't care. Why do I care about what just happened today or whatever, like 2 seconds ago? I can't. I can only think about it, fix it, move on, and be happy.
Yep,
you
and
know?
be happy.
And I've
Yeah.
always kept that, but it's like some people are just stuck in that zone of
It's not easy, like to put yourself or even to program your mind to think positive is not. It's like honestly, it's not easy at all. It's like the hardest battle a human being goes through because at the end of the day, the mind is like it's essentially your number one enemy because you're
course.
constantly thinking about scenarios, what
It's your
could
thoughts in
happen,
your
this
head,
and
yeah.
that, right? So it's
Yeah.
like. It's all about like really, really like clearing your head
Yeah.
at times, and it's just like being positive, being kind of reserved, kind of being able to understand others, not just all about you. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
you're
of
living in a
course.
world where everyone is just
Yeah.
racing, mind thinking. So it's like
Yes.
But I think that's the battle. The battle is, how do you stay optimistic in the most pessimistic situations?
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like for me, I tell everybody that amongst all my friends, I try to be the most optimistic person there is.
Man,
all the
I'm
time,
super
all the time.
optimistic.
You know what I mean?
I don't try to be optimistic all the time, but like I definitely have a balance between optimistic and realistic.
Yeah.
But then this
You
is
know
the
what
thing.
I'm saying?
I challenge you because I'm like, you can see a positive outcome in every single thing in
exactly.
life.
Absolutely, yeah.
But society won't tell you that.
Yeah.
And then you have to remember, if you're big on manifestation, that stuff that you're thinking in your subconscious comes to light.
Right.
So even if you say you're being positive, because you have that subconscious thought
Yeah.
about, but let's be realistic, is it really going to happen?
Yeah.
It's not going to happen for you because
Exactly.
that thought is still there.
Yeah.
So therefore, like, why not try to
Yeah.
be as
Yeah.
optimistic as possible? And I think for
100%.
me, the most challenging time is like when you lose somebody that's close to you.
Yeah.
Like dealing with death.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How do you see the positive in it? So for example, like a lot of people asked about, when my pops passed away, how I dealt with it. And I said, the conversations that we had constantly ring in my ear.
Yeah. Exactly.
Even when I'm speaking to my
Yeah.
friends, I'll be repeating some stuff that he told me.
he
And
said.
that shit is amazing for me because I'm like, damn, I'm glad I had those convos with my pops because here's a situation that's happening and I'm going in the back of my memory, thinking of some stuff that he said about this.
Yeah.
Damn, yo, thanks for having that conversation with
yeah,
Pops.
yeah, exactly.
That was that for me is positive.
Yeah.
If I think about the fact that he's gone, that he's dead,
that he's not
constantly,
coming back.
I'm not thinking
yeah.
about the fact that you invested X amount of years into me, my G.
Yep.
So how dare I spit at that and I focus on the fact that you're not physically here
but
anymore.
that's just being selfish, right? In
get me?
that aspect. So no.
But
That's,
it does take practice though.
yeah, of
does.
course.
And it does, and then also another thing too is who are you surrounding yourself with? Because I'm always big on like, my circle and the energies around me.
Oh, 100%.
Like I can't be around people who are constantly negative. bro.
Oh, trust me.
And it's crazy because when you were growing up in the hood. And it's like, who got dropped, this, that, and the other. And then I started really taking it in, like, sometimes when these guys are smoking and you're like, it's beer grabber in the blunt.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you depressed?
Grabber mans.
Grab like the grabber strap.
But what's crazy is the young kids are smoking it with grabba.
Crazy. Like,
Yeah.
what,
I
I'm like,
don't
what are you going through,
understand
my
it.
G?
Bro, grabber
I
is
asked the
deadly.
kid that today. I swear to God, I said, why do you smoke? I have nothing against it. I don't care. Use it, but give me a reason why you smoke, a valid reason why you smoke at your age, 15 or something like that. He goes, I have family issues. I go, so when you smoke, it solves your family issues? Like, I don't understand. But they put grabba in it, and they're like, they're hitting it like 4 or 5 times a day.
Yeah.
Their brain hasn't even developed.
Yeah, it's
Like-
it's sad because it's like they're just smoking to escape.
Yeah,
reality.
that moment, that little moment.
like for that little temporary moment, is like, bro, you're gonna get sober and then you're gonna be like, fuck, I still gotta deal with this situation or whatnot. Let me roll up another grab a spliff. You know what I'm saying?
And
It's
then
crazy.
just keep hitting it. But it's like what I'm doing with that is trying to get them to understand that like you can smoke, but smoke it because you just want to enjoy the weed. You don't want you don't not because
You need it.
You need it, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't need to start thinking about those negative things. I said, so what if your family has problems? That like who cares?
But then it's like, even inviting those spaces for those conversations to be had.
Yeah.
And that's why I go back to like the kind of community work that we need to be doing.
Yeah.
How do we create environments where, that was a conversation point for you right there.
Of course,
The guy opened up to you, and I'm sure, if you see him again now, he might be more open to talking to you about like what he's going through.
he's
going
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, are you talking to that young youth that you see on the block? You know what I mean? The person that that's on the subway beside you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because those conversations can go a long way.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean?
But that's what I was trying to get to with the kid, right? It's like, he's got problems. Like you have a bed at home? Yeah. You sleep comfortably at home? Yeah. Like, I don't know if you know what's going on in the world, but there's kids that don't have nothing right now. They don't even have a hospital. Let alone. So, it's like you don't have problems, man. You just have, I don't know, a little.
I know, but you can't also say that because
I
it's
know,
like,
I'm not- I don't
that's
know what he's really
that's the
going
mind of a
through, right?
15-year-old. You know what I mean? Like
For him, that's his problem.
that's his problem.
Yeah,
For
I
you,
get
your
it.
problems might be different. You know what I'm
For
saying?
sure, you're not wrong, and I'm not trying to let that put that on him like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
but
yeah, no doubt.
It's just to try to change his perspective
For
to
sure,
see something
yeah.
different. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, everyone got problems, and
Yeah,
you just gotta find solutions or
Find
just
the positive
seek
in it,
guidance. World problems, all the types of problems in the world exist, man. Talk about like on things on a larger scale. I know you have traveled around the world. You recently was in like Portugal, and we're in Nigeria. I know you've been to Ghana, all these places. How do Femi Lawson take his skills on a larger scale? Like, what are like things that you think you see yourself doing?
So I remember, I guess I'll touch on Ghana. I did the show with Blackson.
Yeah.
And Blackson is an amazing individual. Like,
Yeah.
has a very, very good heart.
Very humble too.
Very
man.
humble.
Yep.
Shout out to him. Tyler Perry just gave him the biggest bag of his life.
For real,
For him to do his own TV show, the Michael Blackson show.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and it's
That's
doing pretty
amazing.
well. But I gotta really connect with him, and like he's like a mentor to me as well too, because he's African as well.
Yeah.
Older in the game, has seen a lot. And I'm able to connect with him in the motherland. So I remember going when I pulled up to Ghana, he was telling me about a project he was working on and building a school in his village.
Yeah, you
And
went to the village with him.
Yeah, so he was like, yo, Femi, it's a 3-hour car ride. I said, yo, let's do it.
Let's do it.
You know what I mean? We're doing sing-alongs in the car. I'm putting them on my
Having
new
a good
tunes,
time,
you know what I mean? And we get to the school, and it's his annual soccer tournament. So
I know,
was a
that shit look
co-host.
crazy.
It was crazy. We had like 1,000 kids, like, you know what I mean?
Playing soccer in
stands,
outside, just going
outside.
crazy.
Yeah, you know, it was such an amazing energy and just an amazing thing to see what giving back is. Somebody that you can relate to. I relate because I do the same thing as you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Here you are doing in the motherland. And I remember I was in Ghana, and one thing about Ghana, you know, the clubs are just lit. You know what I mean? Everyone's leaving in the morning, you know?
6 a.m., 7 in the morning.
And I noticed there was a lot of kids just jumping on the cars, begging for money, right? So, yo, I'm looking at these kids, and they remind me of youth that I work with. And usually we go to this place called Breakfast and Breakfast. That's where everybody goes after the club. It's either like a 2-minute car ride or it's like a 10-minute walk. So, yeah, I decided to come out the whip. So I come out the whip, and all these kids are like all around, and people are like, "Oh, Femi, are you sure you want to be around these kids?" I'm like, "Yo, I grew up in the ends. I'm not scared. These are our people. How are you gonna be scared of your people?" So I tell the kids, I'm like, "Yo, stop begging. You guys are kings, bro. You guys are kings and queens. What's up? What do you guys do? What's your name?" So they start laughing and shit, and then they tell me like, you know, what they do, all that stuff, and I'm like, "Yo, what area do you guys come from?" And I remember them saying they come from this area called Jamestown. So I was like, "All right, yo, I'm gonna come to your block tomorrow." So I had my homegirl, Eve. She knows all around Ghana. I said, yo, I want to go to Jamestown. So we go to Jamestown, and I notice it's a boxing community in Ghana.
Oh, sick.
So, like, yo, girls and boys, no head equipment. They're boxing. I see the girl boxing over a man's head. Like, I was like, what? It's crazy, right? And I'm like, yo, this is really, really cool. Like, we got to capture this.
Yeah.
So there was a young boy that was with me. He was a videographer. I said, yo, let's make like a mini documentary. Tomorrow I'm going to come back. I'm going to bring some influence with me. I'm going to bring some of these guys that are popping bottles, you know what I mean, that are foreigners and stuff. They got to see this, right?
They got to experience the real raw,
exactly,
like,
the real
Ghana,
raw Ghana.
Yeah.
So then we end up pulling up. There was a lady that was cooking Ghana jollof. I won't talk about it.
We're going to talk about that, too.
She was a nice lady.
We're going to talk about the jollof.
So I told her, I said, you know, I want you to cook like 500. I want 500 places jollof. We're going to feed the block. You know what I mean?
Sick.
And then we ended up having like a block party. There was a man that came out of nowhere that was like a dread Ghanaian guy who knew all about the area. Okay. And he's like, I'll take you around and I'm going to tell you all about this area. And he literally walked us all around the area telling us about the history of Jamestown and how it became a boxing place.
Yeah.
Kids were able to tell their stories. And for me, that was cool because I didn't go there with that purpose.
Right.
I went there having a vibe, and that was my vibe.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I kind of expanded the vibe I was already in.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we're able to help, you know, give light to, you know, some of these youth. There's some youth that we're going to be working with. You know, we plan to donate some money to their gym. You know what I mean?
Awesome, yeah.
I want to connect them to, you know, Masai Ujiri, Giants of Africa.
Yeah,
I'm hosting his gala coming up.
Oh, nice.
You know,
That's big.
you know
Shout
what I
out
mean?
to you, man.
Yeah, it's coming up. You know what I mean?
Shout
Boys
out
to
to
Men's gonna be
Masai.
performing.
No way.
Yeah, it's our
That's
history.
cool.
It's
Yeah.
big.
Wow.
Yeah, tickets are like 25 bands
Yeah,
a piece.
of course.
No way.
Yeah, but you know,
That's for the table, right?
yeah, for the
25?
table.
Yeah,
And it's crazy because the first time I went to the Giants of Africa gala, I said, I need to host this because this is me.
Yeah.
I manifested it. I said it. And then this year I'm hosting it.
That's amazing.
That's
Good for you,
amazing.
man.
And I'm telling you, this manifestation stuff, like people talk about it, you know, you see all these videos like, oh, manifestation. But like, it's like, yo, you gotta really, you gotta lock in, yo. Lock in. And society and friends will tell you, yo, be realistic. And I'm like, fuck off, bro.
Yeah.
I'm doing this shit.
Yeah.
I can
Making
tell
it
you,
happen.
I can tell you I've sat in places and I say, this is gonna happen. And I won't even wait 24 hours and it happens.
But you know what it is that people are forgetting when there's a thing that is not said when you say if you manifest it, it'll happen. You have to actually be doing what you want to manifest to get you in that direction,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. Yes.
People just sit there and be like, oh, I want $1 million. and they're like, I want to manifest $1 million. As if
But
someone's
how's
gonna
that-
drop
yeah,
$1 million.
yeah,
in
$1 million
your-
on a
in
farm.
your
You
laptop,
gotta
right?
work. You gotta work.
You gotta
That's
be
right.
working like
Yeah.
6,
That's
7
right.
motions
Yeah.
lined up, ready.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
of them gonna connect, get you $1 million.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You
And
gotta
you
be-
have to see it through. You have to
Yeah.
run through that wall as
Yeah.
as
You gotta
as hard
fail.
as possible.
You gotta
Exactly.
fail. You gotta take your lessons. We don't
Yeah.
take L's. We just learn lessons.
That's
Yeah.
right.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And
The
you gotta
L's are
continue.
lessons,
The
exactly.
L's are lessons. They're not losses. They're lessons.
Yeah.
And I think for me, I've learned a lot of lessons throughout all
Yeah.
of these journeys, and it's built me to who I am today. You know what I mean?
No, that's amazing, man.
Yeah.
Just seeing your growth, just seeing you
Yeah, man.
constantly evolving on different, like sets, hosting this. Like I know you hosted one of the largest Afro Fest, not Afro Fest, AFRO-Nation, right?
Yeah.
One of the largest events for the Afrobeat community, AFRO-Nation in
Yeah.
Detroit this
Yeah.
past summer.
Yeah.
Tell us about that, bro.
It was a crazy journey because I always wanted to Afro Fest Toronto.
Afro Fest Toronto, yeah.
I always wanted to host it, but like, things
Well,
never worked out.
It's your time.
Yeah,
They
it never worked out.
They never worked out, and I won't lie, it kind of hurt me because I'm like,
You're like,
you know,
this is me.
This is me. This is
Yeah.
my city. What do you
Yeah.
mean I'm
Yeah.
not able
Home,
to
yeah.
work it? But I've always kept this in my mind, like, opportunity comes, I'll never miss it because I'll always
Yeah.
be ready.
It would be perfect
And
timing.
I remember the guys from AFRO-Nation, they came to the city, and I had got introduced to them by Jules. Shout out to Jules. Very selfless individual. I like those individuals who will bring you and introduce you in a room without you introducing yourself.
I love
Yeah.
that.
So at the time, I got invited to go to Marshall Montano's show at the Coca-Cola Center. And he was on the floor, and Jules is like, yo, Femi, you got to meet, Smade and this guy Josh, the AFRO-Nation. So Smade goes, oh, so you're the Femi Lawson everyone talks about. And then I go, Smade, so you're the AFRO-Nation everyone talks about. How come Femi didn't host your show yet? So we're laughing about it. Josh is laughing in the background. And we go backstage. And Marshall is Shay Qatari. We used to do 106 in York together.
Okay,
And he's
sick.
Marshall's manager. So, we're connecting on a level. Then out of nowhere, someone jumps on me. Boom, Jessie Reyes. I was like, Jessie, what's good?
Oh,
And
shit.
Jessie, she comes from the ends too.
Yeah.
And just to see everything she's done, and
Shout out to
she
Jessie
was telling me
Reyes.
at the time she's on tour with she's on tour with who was she on tour with?
She's outside, like she's
She was on tour with
Yeah.
somebody
on big
yeah.
sets. Yeah,
Mhm.
she's on tour. I know she has a lot of songs with the guy named Six Lack.
Yeah.
I think she did some shit with Kehlani.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
She do big. Yeah, she's
She's
up there.
doing big things, so we're catching up there. So all these guys are seeing like the energy, like what I mean?
Yeah.
So we go out to eat at Mademoiselle and everything, and we chat. The next day, I was like, "Yo, I gotta bring these guys to get some Niger jollof,
Okay, you take 'em to
suya.
SK
I gotta
Cooks?
bring the SK. You know what I mean?
Come
Shout
on.
out to
Shout out to
Sassy and
SK
Peter.
Cooks. You know what I'm saying?
So I brought it to SK. It had a good time. And then a couple months later, I got hit up. And they're like, yo, Femi, would you like to host AFRO-Nation in Detroit?
Sheesh.
And I said,
You say what?
I said,
Come
I said, is the money ready? So they're like, yo, everything's good. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh.
And it was crazy because that day, the Saturday, the second host had booked a wedding. So they were like, Femi, unfortunately, it's only going to be you hosting. I said,
Oh,
This
man.
is my playground.
I said, they didn't give Femi Lawson the mic. Oh, man, I went crazy.
Yeah,
and that was the day I think Brenner Boy was the closing act that night.
Closing act.
So, my change room, you had, Color Ray was there, Lados across.
Yeah.
The energy was crazy.
man.
And it was just a great opportunity. I felt I was hosting something right in my own backyard. Except, now it's 20,000 people. You know what I
20K.
mean?
So
20K.
here's a question. So a guy who hates talking on stage in front of people, how the hell do you do it? Like, how do you feel? Like,
He's a
Yo,
natural.
I know, but like, give me some advice. Like,
I think
what do you
for
do?
me it's just kind of like I'm so used to having conversations with my friends.
Yeah.
Like this conversation.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
casually. Just,
Casually.
yeah.
So now I'm having a conversation
with
with
20,000
20,000
friends.
people.
20K.
Yeah, okay.
20,000 people. I have the mic. You don't have the mic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have the mic.
You're in
Yeah.
control.
I'm in control. If I say hula hula hoo,
Yeah.
you guys will say
Yeah.
hula hula hoo. what I mean? So it's like, and it's also a confidence too.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like one thing for me since I was young, I think my mom instilled confidence.
Yeah,
in
for
me.
sure.
I think it's very important if you have a little one, you instill confidence
You
in
do.
them.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I
Sure.
mean? Like, yo, you are a star. You're amazing. Like, say
Yeah.
good words of affirmation. So
Yeah.
even if no one is saying it to me, naturally, for me, I'm constantly thinking these
Remembering.
things.
Mhm.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And yeah, man, it was a crazy time.
Yeah,
I was so happy. Kind
That's
of
awesome.
accomplishing that goal. Cause that was something on
Yeah.
my bucket list as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Portugal coming up. You know what I mean?
AFRO-Nation.
You might see me in my Tantalization shorts on that stage 2024.
Waving
You know
the
what I
flag,
mean?
waving the
But
flag.
it was an amazing opportunity. Shout out to Smade and Josh. Like,
Yeah.
those two, AFRO-Nation came from a thesis assignment
wow.
that Smade was working on. And he made it come to life. And I remember him telling me the first AFRO-Nation he had was a failure. And people were sending death threats to him.
Oh,
You know
shit.
what I mean? He lost, at the time, he lost his mom as well.
Oh,
So he was
shit.
going through a hard time. But, he picked up and he kept
Pushed
carrying,
through it.
pushing
Yeah,
through.
yeah,
And that's why it's big the way it is now. And then even hearing his story, I love hearing the story of like how people kind of created things and how they are the way they are.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
What makes you you?
Yeah.
I think that's the most. When I meet somebody new, that's something that I love to tap into.
Yeah.
I like to have. I like onion conversations. We
Yeah,
cut
yeah.
deep. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? That
yeah,
surface
cut
shit
deep.
is whatever. Like, we see it all the time in the clubs. Like, yeah, let's link up. Yo,
Yeah.
you don't know. You don't know. Let's link
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
That's the faking the
Yeah,
funk
yeah.
and shit.
You know what I mean? I wanna know, like, yo, tell me about your childhood traumas.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, but shout out to them, and giving me the opportunity. I was very, very grateful for it.
Yeah.
And then since then it's just been like a whirlwind,
Been going up for you.
Yeah, it's been going up.
It's
I
been
gotta-
going so up for you that you had two showcase on the TIFF premiere this year.
Yeah, so
That's major, bro.
Yeah, bro.
So we get tickets, right?
yeah, it happened. It
It
happened
already
already.
happened,
Oh,
bro.
man.
Zico, man. Like,
Zico-
But
he had two, one a show, one is a movie.
Yeah, I seen those on
that
your
both got
Instagram.
premiered on TIFF.
Yeah.
okay, I didn't see that part. I thought that was gonna
He
come
had
up.
he
Okay,
had a whole
okay,
crazy,
yeah,
crazy
yeah.
year.
Shit.
Premieres.
That one-
So hold on, you
hosting
gotta do it again
AFRO-Nation.
so you can invite us to the next year.
Yeah,
too.
I got
Yeah,
you. I got
yeah.
you. But that was an amazing opportunity because I remember at the time, I was like, I want to tap into what makes me me, the acting, like, because
Yeah,
that's what
yeah.
I always did, right?
Yeah.
I took a break from it for a while. I felt like I was doing a party.
You was
thing too
outside.
much.
Yeah, yeah.
I was outside a little too much.
Casa amigo.
I had to wheel it back. No more zoo,
No more Azul.
And then I remember I tapped in. I got the Bria Mac gig. Shout out to the whole
Bria.
squad, Sasha and Kelly and the whole Angelique, the whole crew. That was an amazing experience because I was playing, just like a Toronto fuckboy.
Yeah,
so
literally,
it's
and that's like a natural character for you, like.
I was gonna say, I based it. I was thinking of Aaron as I was playing the role. You know what I mean? I was thinking of you, bro. You
No,
inspired
I'm
me.
joking.
You
I
inspired
inspired
me.
you. I'm glad I inspired
You know? And then, but then the next role, Lonzo, who used to work with Fever TV, I worked with him years ago. He had hit up my agent, and he called me and he's like, "Femi, I got this very serious role, but I feel like you can do it." And I was like, "Yo, I'm with it," because I'm used to playing the funny characters. This was a role that required me to really tap into a different side of myself. And I remember going for the audition, and it was a scene where I was in jail, talking to my friend's mom about my dead friend, what happened to his body. And it was an emotional scene, and so I had to get into like my method acting. I played jail sounds, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm tapping into like when the man them are telling me they're in the bin and stuff. Like I'm
Yeah,
tapped in,
yeah,
you know?
Tapping into different emotions like that, like the
Yeah.
darker side of the emotions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I really went in, and I remember going to the audition, and I did my thing, and then Lonzo was saying, "Yo, Femi, one of those three directors, and one of the guys was like, I was holding my breath the whole time. He's like, that was amazing,
Wow.
and I was feeling good. And then Lonzo came in, he's like, yo, those are the two biggest casting directors in Canada, right? I said, oh, word?
Word.
Damn, yo. And then he's like, oh, another thing. Femi, if you get this role, you're gonna have to shave your beard and your head. Huh? So yo, for a moment,
Yeah.
I thought about it. And then I said, you know what? When they say sacrifice, this is what they're talking about.
That's what they're talking about,
Like,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
It's kind of
Damn.
like that movie where 50 Cent had to kind of shave his beard and become skinny and shit. He's on the deathbed like this, about to die.
Damn.
He
So
has to get into that bag. You know what I'm
I
saying?
had to, so I shaved off my beard, and it was the first time I've ever shaved my beard.
And I remember that day we were. You know what's crazy? The
Yeah,
way we
I
set it
forgot.
up, it was like, yo, I'ma shave my head because I had dreads
Yeah.
this long.
We cut it the same
We
day.
cut it the same day.
Shit.
He had
I remember,
dreads.
Yeah, I remember
I
your
had
dreads.
dreads.
Yeah, and I was like, you know what? I have to shave my beard too.
Yeah.
Let's make it a thing.
Let's make it
Yeah.
a thing. Like, let's
Yeah.
actually
Damn.
sacrifice.
But
this.
I was ugly, bro. I was not tantalizing, bro. So I had to deal with that. You know what I mean?
He said, "I'm not
I was
tantalizing."
not, but it was a crazy opportunity. We got to shoot.
But you couldn't turn it down, man.
Yeah, I couldn't.
It was one of those ones.
It was one of those, and I was so glad I did it.
Yeah.
We got to shoot here, and we got to shoot in Nigeria.
Oh,
Amazing.
amazing. Wicked.
Yeah. So, and it actually got into a couple of festivals, Real World, Sudbury, and then recently it got into Arif, which is the African International Film Festival, the biggest film
big.
festival in Africa, as the leading movie.
Wow.
So this
That's
movie,
the leading movie, eh?
Yeah,
That's
so
major.
So you're like more than Hollywood now.
Yeah,
You're
he's
worldwide.
Smoking,
Like,
smoking hot actor,
Yeah.
man.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
we looking for roles worldwide. We're available.
So at this point, do you have your IMDb set up?
Oh yeah, from time.
Yeah.
You check it out. The movies are there.
The portfolio is heavy
The
now.
portfolio is heavy.
Heavy.
Yeah, you know what I mean. You guys will see some old stuff. I did a Vice documentary.
oh yeah, yeah.
Smoke
Yes.
show.
You
You
did
know what I
Vice,
mean?
with the North Face rally.
Exactly.
Yeah, yep. Shout out Ghost.
Shout out to Ghost.
Yep.
You know, when I sit back and I look at like things that I've done,
Yeah.
I'm very, very happy and grateful because in my wildest dreams I would have never thought
You never thought you'd be
got to
doing
that
all,
level,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, so
Major.
you know, I'm still pushing through. I'm working on a TV show right now that I created with my friend Jerome Cruin.
Nice.
So right now I think we're gonna take the Issa Rae route, where we release a couple things onto YouTube before it blows up, and we do something. I want to do something big for the city.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been in all areas of the city, kind of doing community work. There's no hood that we haven't worked in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think and I see beauty in it. You know what I mean? And I think if we have something solid that we can bring people together, we can bring the music, the arts, and everything in between, and have something solid. That's what we need. So
Yeah.
that's something I'm working on, and I feel like I got something nice. You feel me? You know what I mean?
Some in the works.
So that's something that is in the works. People are gonna start seeing that coming out in the new year. But apart from all of that, we're constantly moving and working and shaking. You know what I mean?
Good to hear, man.
Great stuff, bro.
Yeah.
Great, amazing work, bro. I gotta, always condemn your hard work.
Yeah.
Always going crazy. Always trying to come up with some new character, unlocking new levels. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, love to see it, bro. Like you're going crazy. Like
Thank you.
it's great stuff, bro.
Yeah. We did the smash or pass, right?
I mean, we can do that. We
did you
wanted
get
to.
your- yeah.
Zika want to do a little smash or pass.
I'll be honest with you. Look, I was trying to search up some like good like African celebrities that
Little
we
baddies,
could throw.
you know what I'm saying? Little
Bro,
African.
I googled it. It said African American, and it put Halle Berry on the top. I was like, what? It's not African.
She's not African. She's African American.
Yeah, I was like,
saying?
fuck. So-
I don't make the African Americans get pissed off. Eh?
You know what I'm
no,
saying?
not like
I remember
that.
I was reading something the other day because I think one of the celebrities got in trouble. I won't mention who, but he had said Black Americans don't have culture, or they feel because, and then also on the other side, a lot of Africans back in the day didn't feel like a lot of the Americans respected them as well too,
true.
because they didn't see them as black type thing,
yeah.
But I think now in 2023, we're starting to see a lot more openness in regards to cultures. People are eating the foods. People are understanding each other more, and that's one of the positive things about social media.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like everything is being opened up. You know what I mean? You can't live under a rock. If you don't know something, you can go on TikTok and you can be there live and direct, right in front of your face. You know.
One's here or what?
I mean, like me personally, I know him personally,
Oh,
so
okay,
it's like I know this guy's type. You know, I don't want to throw him under the bus. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, we could throw a little spicy 1-2 question.
You're gonna know more than me, so I had to Google this shit.
Okay. Smash or pass? Lupita from Wakanda. You remember her?
Yeah, I know Lupita.
Lupita.
I think she's
Or
gorgeous.
hold on, let me say or Lupita or Thames.
Oh, that's fuck. I should have thought of Thames.
You know what I mean?
Which one? Who you smashing? Who you passing?
I think Thames can be my small small wife on the side. Yes, sir.
I can
Thames
see that.
definitely. Lupita, I can pass it. Pass her.
But yo, have you seen Lupita like when she's dressed up?
I seen her. Yeah.
Ooh, Kenyan baddie.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you know
that's-
the Nigerian jollof is just
The
jollof.
Nigerian
It's jollofing.
It's
It's
real
jollofing.
real jollof. Okay, what about this one? Megan Thee Stallion
Okay.
or Amber Rose?
This guy gave me 2 shows.
Trouble on it.
Trouble.
No hala. How you say it? No hala.
No hala. Omo. Hey. Some of them I've gotten some of our people in trouble. I don't know wahala. I think I would because of the wahala. Maybe Amber Rose because of the
Amber
no wahala.
Rose?
Okay.
No wahala.
Really, over Megan Thee Stallion.
You know what? If it wasn't politically,
The whole Tory situation.
bro, it's like do I want to enter trouble? But Megan's she can go on.
She can go on.
She can go on. Too.
Yeah, she's.
Who will you choose?
Honestly, I would go with Megan just cause like Amber Rose is just like
Yeah, honestly, Megan would be.
she's crazy. Amber Rose is just, just wow. Like I think
Isn't that what you want, though?
I'm not
Shit,
really
that's
into.
what I
I'm
would
not into the
fucking
whole
choose.
bald head. Like.
Yeah,
Say
you
she
know
looks
what
too
you're
like
saying. You
too
wanna
much of a
put-
dude when she's giving you some head.
This guy is a why, yo.
This guy's
What are you
wild.
thinking about, bro?
What the heck, Zico?
bald head. I'm just
Zico, what are
saying
you
it.
thinking about,
I'm just
fam?
saying it for you.
Zico.
Oh my goodness, Zico.
Holy
It's
shit.
okay, Zico. It's a safe space.
Yeah,
It's
thank you.
It's a safe space. It's a safe space, Zico. Oh man, how about this one? Ice Spice or Chromas?
You know why I would say Ice Spice? Because Chromas is Toronto, man. You want that accent. You want that like New York accent. You know what I mean?
Like, are you stupid? Are you dumb? But that's both. That's New York and Toronto.
Nah.
No, trust me. People in New York, they say that all the
I
time.
know, but the accent is you know when
I
you're
know
talking
what
to
you're
a
talking
New York
about.
shorty. Yeah, we travel.
Yeah, we
A
travel.
New York shorty, she has, she like, so what's up? Like, what you saying? Like,
What
what's
you wanna
good?
do?
What you want to do?
So you would
papi?
choose that over Toronto.
Chromas,
Yeah,
eh?
Chromas is good, but Chromas is Toronto. There's
Yeah,
there's like 10 girls that's like Chromas.
Yeah, I'll
fam.
say the same thing. Yeah,
Come
well,
on.
you could say the same about New York. There's 10 girls that say the same shit in New York.
Yeah, but
true.
we're not from New York.
Okay,
But
fair
Ice
enough.
Spice is from
Fair
the
enough.
Bronx.
She's from the boogie down Bronx.
The boogie down Bronx.
You know what I mean?
You know what
And then I feel
saying?
like some of these, I feel like Cross are gonna set up together.
So you're afraid to get set up, eh?
Yeah, no, but you know, I seen Chromas what she's actually like she's shy.
No, I feel like with the right people, she's outside. You know,
Yeah,
she's.
yeah. Would you like to say more?
I mean, I'm not speaking on like any experience that I got met her. Like I've seen her one time, but it was like in a club, and she seemed
But
like she
but-
was in a section having a blast.
Yeah, but to be honest, like, shout out to her for like,
Yeah. She started acting too now. You seen her
yeah,
recently?
she did the Robin Hood stuff. I might put her in my TV show too.
You should. I feel like that would be a great Toronto like a little touch to it, to your show.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I want to work with like everybody in the city that's pushing.
Well,
the
listen,
envelope, you know what I
If
mean?
you need
Yeah.
a Lebanese guy to be
A Lebanese realtor.
Lebanese
somewhere in the back somewhere, shit, I'll try it.
No, I feel like Zeke would be the great Lebanese landlord in there. Like, hey, I'm here to collect rent.
Rent.
Rent
You
is
Where's
you
your
didn't
money?
pay your rent, and
Where's
then
your
the
money?
girl goes, How else can I pay for the rent?
All right, fine. This time, this
Good.
Get the ball head.
Oh man.
Freaking Zico.
Holy smokes.
Holy smokes, man.
That's a joke,
Oh man. I
Any
mean,
form of
yeah,
payment.
it's Toronto. Toronto itself is a melting pot of talent here. Like, you know, it's an amazing place. You're doing your thing. I'm doing my thing. Zico's doing his thing. And it's like platforms like this gives us a chance to kind of, you know, share
Catch
peace
up.
of mind, catch up, you know,
Work together.
work together,
Help each other. Do what we
motivate
gotta do.
each other, and
Yeah.
that's the whole point of the Richdiet podcast. You know, it's about shedding light on talents that are, you know, that are making things happen, culture shifters, you know, content creators.
Yeah.
And you're doing amazing work, brother. Appreciate you for taking the time today
Appreciate
out of your busy schedule, coming to sit down. I know it's a bit of a catch up, you and Zico.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
man.
And
Hey,
you
listen,
know,
we have to go get Jollof Rice, you know.
yeah.
Yo, we're about to go to a Niger party after this, eh?
Oh,
Wanna
man.
Why
pull
you
up?
think I got my dashiki
Right
on, bro?
Bro, I have the dollar. I
Damn.
have the dollar bills, eh?
You got the dollar bills ready to throw once.
So I gotta bring
Is
them.
there- you know that's the thing in Nigerian, I guess, culture, right? Or
What
is
do you
it
mean?
Ghanaian culture too?
Well, no, Nigerians, we do it. I think we do it more.
Oh, okay. They
To throw money?
Throw
So
money.
it's like when somebody's celebrating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see like at a wedding. I see them doing that at the
Yeah,
wedding and
they
stuff like
throw
that.
that.
So we you know, you see the
Make it
stack
rain.
now.
Oh shit, those are not the TV ones, right? Those
No,
are
no,
real.
these are the real ones.
Not
This,
the
this
on-set
is
ones.
not the one that has the middleman at the strip club where the girls
no
walking
middle.
around like, hey, does
yeah.
anybody want to get one? I don't get it, bro. It's not the same feel.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
going plastic.
Yeah, yeah.
I said, no, me, I'm in Nigeria. I need to throw the real something now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, even the sound, I should do the AS.
ASMR, yeah.
This is the sound of real money.
Of ones.
American ones.
America.
Do you want to hear $100 bills?
Should do a slap in her ass. Bah!
Yo, Zico's been having some.
Zico's been having some wild dreams, man. Some
dreams.
Wild
wild,
dreams.
wild
Never
fantasy dreams.
Zico.
Could be reality, but.
Oh man,
It's okay, I know you want a Niger babe.
he needs
Hey.
one. He needs a Nigeria babe
So
that
then when
cooks
we
him
going to
jollof.
Nigeria?
Bro, I don't know. Whenever you guys are ready, man. Nigeria's
Shit.
a vibe, man. Lagos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lagos in December, they call it Dirty December.
I mean, like, I feel like the only way I would go to Nigeria, if you're there at that time, then I'd be like, I'll pull up.
That's what's
I
up.
wouldn't just want to pull up. You know what I mean? Like,
I wouldn't mind. I'll go regardless.
I mean, I hear you, but you would want to go with someone that you know, and
Just tell me
Femi's
who
like,
to connect
he's
with, and I'll
connected.
be there. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but Nigeria is a place where, you know,
have
depending
to
on
know
who you
someone.
connect with, would determine the level of fun you also have.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly,
okay.
right?
Yeah, but
So,
Nigeria's honestly, it's like
from hearing
one of
all
the
his
best
stories,
places.
I'm like, I would have to go with this guy. You know, I got other Nigerian friends too, but they're like, they don't tell me cool stories like
Yeah,
him. You know,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah,
I
for
got.
No, but I also got some really cool friends out there, man. Like, you know, last time I was
Yeah.
in Nigeria, my boy's like, oh yeah, Femi, I have my private jet now.
Oh,
And I looked
shit.
at the private jet because I thought it was a kind of rental thing. And I looked at it, and until it had his name on it, I said, oh,
shit.
oh, you rich, my G.
You're rich.
Yeah,
Damn.
Nigeria. Honestly, Nigeria is a place where, you know, sometimes when you're thinking and you're talking about money, it's like it made me see like royalty. It made me see richness, and it made me realize that sometimes you need to see it to believe it, right?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So, because if you see it and it's like next to you, you know that you could achieve it too.
Yeah.
It's one thing to talk about it, but to see it is a whole nother energy, right?
Yeah, there's money in Africa in general, right? And Nigeria is like, I think, first or second, like, top economy, like, countries in Africa.
Yeah,
like,
we have the highest population of black people in the world.
yeah,
you
and
know,
there's a
going
lot
up
of
250.
millionaires from Nigeria, yo. Yeah, it's real money. Over
Like
Actually-
people like to talk a lot about corruption, but I feel like corruption is
everywhere.
we're seeing it. It's everywhere.
it's everywhere.
We're
It's
seeing
everywhere.
it. You know
There's
what I mean?
corruption here.
There's
in
every
the-
country.
Colonial
Yeah.
colonial places love to
Yeah.
support colonial places. That's a story for another day.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think we also have to focus on what are some of the things we can do outside of where we live.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And like traveling, that's why I said traveling is number one. Go
Oh,
out there,
100%.
see it for yourself.
100%.
Yeah, man, I can't wait to go back home. Whew, it's gonna be a
And I
great
always
trip.
tell, and I remember me and Aaron having this conversation. I said, "Yo, a couple bottles in a club is flights.
It's a flight back home.
It's a flight and a hotel.
Yeah.
That drunk night, where it's like, yo, let's do it round 3. Round 3 would have been the third country you went to, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
It's true. You guys are lucky, man. You guys should go to your countries. I can't go right now
Yeah. I hear
because
that.
of what's going on, but I don't know. I
But
can't wait to go back.
there's always alternative, you know.
Yeah. I'm
countries
still gonna
that-
travel. I'll still
yeah.
go wherever I can, right? You know.
Yeah.
So
You want to know something interesting? The club scenes and the restaurants in Nigeria, you know who they're run by?
Lebanese.
Lebanese.
I was about to tell you that. I know there's a lot. So there's a lot of Lebanese people in Africa, right? Predominantly Nigeria,
That's
Ghana.
crazy. I didn't
Yeah.
know
They run
It's
the
crazy.
they run the like the hospitality realm.
Yeah.
So I was talking to because I was looking at the restaurant, so
Yeah.
I had a conversation with one of the waiters.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, actually, when we graduate university, we are sent out to Ghana, Nigeria
Yeah,
to
yeah.
do our kind of their residency.
Right.
Yeah, and
From
because they
Lebanon.
specialize from Lebanon.
Wow, that's
so they have
I didn't know
direct
that. That's
connections.
cool.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
they
I
own.
just thought they just went just because they just love the culture.
No, they
Yeah.
own a lot of the biggest clubs,
Yeah, wow.
restaurants and stuff in Nigeria.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Okay, so one last question. Nigerian jollof or Ghanaian jollof?
That's you know the answer to that. I look at it like this. In life,
Oh, it's a crazy explanation.
Yeah.
you know, if you have a chance to eat steak out of a golden plate
I know where this is going.
or to eat a burger that has been dipped in mud on the floor,
What would you?
which one would you choose?
Wow.
So for me, when
Damn.
people ask that question, I it's like, why are we making excuses for?
Why are we even talking?
Why are we even talking about it? We ain't talking
This
about.
shouldn't even be a
We're
conversation.
not talking about the game. We're talking about practice.
Practice?
Practice.
Practice?
We're not talking about the jollof. We're talking about the rice. Which one is better?
Holy.
I think that answered
is
the
crazy.
question.
Come on, man.
That's
Let's
gonna
be
get so
honest.
many people upset now.
I know that's gonna
Let's
cause
be
a.
honest, man.
Damn.
I don't think your boy E-Bone going.
Come
Don't
on,
like
man.
that
Let's
response.
let's ask them which artist started the number one in Afrobeats. I look at it like
Burna
this.
Boy?
Let's see,
Where's he
let's see.
from?
Nigeria.
Let's name another one. Name another one.
Burna Boy.
I don't even have to say any name.
Benson.
Where is he from?
Nigeria.
Name another one.
Wizkid.
Where is he from?
Nigeria.
Name another
Davido.
one. Where is he from?
Nigeria.
What's another- Should we continue?
As he's counting the money.
Should we continue? This money is just small. It's small money.
Oh.
Small money. Small money. You cannot even see it again.
Shout out to Nigeria, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Africa as a whole, man. Stand up, Africa unite.
Yeah.
Aaron, you're going back home this year.
I am. I can't wait, bro.
Oh,
Shout
Yo,
out-
whenever I hear Aaron speaking Swahili,
Hakuna Matata. You know what I'm saying?
nah, that's just
Speak that shit.
Oh, you do? Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
he say a whole sentence. I hear him in Empire speaking, and I'm like, I didn't even know he could. I never even heard him speak
shit.
like this. Yo.
I talk that shit.
Let me hear you. How do you say, how are you doing, beautiful lady, in your language?
Habari yako. I don't know how you say beautiful lady is like. I don't know how to say that. I ain't gonna lie. I lost the one too, but like, you know, I
So,
love you.
say it,
Nakupenda.
habari yako?
Habari yako. Mambo,
Habari yako.
mambo poa.
Mambo poa.
Mambo poa is like, what's up? I'm good. You know
Mambo
what I'm saying?
poa.
Mambo
Mambo
poa.
poa.
I like that.
And if you
About
want to
this-
say, if you want
yeah.
to say, how are you in Yoruba, you say baoni.
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 And if you want to say my wife, yaomi.
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 Yo, that's
So-
almost like I don't
Arabic
want.
is-
Yeah, I want to say it's almost like Arabic, but like because in Arabic, like ummi means mother.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like,
Oh,
so it's,
It does.
I guess so. Yaomi is like
Yaomi. Yoruba.
yeah. Wait, what did you say?
Yoruba.
That's what you
Yoruba.
speak, a Yoruba.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah.
speak,
Yeah, yeah.
Pidgin English?
So pigeon is like our slang or like our English that we speak.
So it's like
Your
Lebanese Arabic.
Your buddy
yeah.
means like your brother, right?
huh?
Buddy.
But-
Me buddy or your buddy.
No.
How you say brother in Pidgin English?
Bros.
My bros?
Bros, how far?
Bros.
My bros, how far? Okay.
How are you doing? Like my bros, how far now?
How far?
You wanna eat, how do you eat? You wanna eat? Sure, you want chop?
You want
You want
chop?
chop.
You want chop life?
You want chop now? How far now? It's in the happen.
That's
I
cool.
feel chop.
Yeah.
President Afi Chop.
See this Akata boy.
I ain't gonna lie. I think I'm gonna have a blast when I come to Nigeria, man.
This guy
Oh,
will be
man.
unhinged.
We have to do a podcast in Nigeria.
Nigeria.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah,
that'd be so
that'd be
wicked.
epic.
Bring some Lagos girls to talk to you guys.
Sure.
What's her name? We gotta bring Delilah.
Oh, Delilah, I linked up with her out there.
She's outside, eh?
Yo, Delilah is boo. Like when girls, let me tell you, when women go to Nigeria, their self-confidence, if their self-confidence was a 3, it's 13.
Shit.
Because the thing is, we come from a very catering society.
True.
Like-
men are ready to like
No, they're ready. Like I
Like-
remember coming from a society where it's
take
like,
off their jacket.
you
and
know,
everything.
we spend money here, and then I remember the times it was like, oh, they're like a boops. Oh, you're
Yeah,
a boops.
yeah.
I'm not spending no money.
You're tricking.
But out there, it's like
That's
if you're
the
not
culture.
spending, they're looking at you like, are you okay?
Are you okay?
Why are you outside if you cannot spend money?
Yeah.
Like a guy will come to your girl and be like, he cannot take care of you. Look at him, he's broke. Come to somebody that can take care of you. Look at you. Why are you with rubbish small boy like this? Small boy?
Small boy.
Hey, that's the biggest insult.
Insult, eh?
Small boy.
So what I'm saying,
Damn.
but like, do you take that personal if someone wants to say that? Like, I'm sure that would cause like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you say? Like,
Yeah. But at the same time, you doing your hands like this, that person that's calling you a small boy probably has security,
True.
DSS, and some police officers with them. So you doing like this, somebody will just be
Yeah.
like, calm down, my guy. If you know what's good for you. You yourself, your eyes will be like, okay,
Yeah.
let me-
You're like, okay,
maybe I was
you're
drinking
really
too
a
much.
small boy.
maybe I am a small boy.
Let me get my money up and come back next year.
Yeah.
I swear down,
man.
yo. But
Holy shit.
Nigeria's a vibe, man. Nigeria's a vibe. I
Yeah.
love
Sounds
it.
like it's so fun, man.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah,
Like I seen that one video when Rick Ross went to Nigeria.
Oh, they love that one
They-
song out there, man. They call me Big Mish.
Yeah, they call me
Larry Hoover.
Larry Hoover. Whipping work.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
When Cardi B went out there, she went crazy in the strip club out there.
Damn.
Yeah,
Oh, they got strip clubs out there
what?
too.
They got bro.
So they got like
Silver Fox. Shout out to Silver Fox out there. That strip club crazy. They got one in Ghana too.
That's sick.
Yeah, they be going. They be throwing money. Nigeria is just a place that's like, if you're ready to have a good time and the people are hospitable, you know what I mean. They love when foreigners come as well too.
Oh,
You know
that's
what I mean?
amazing.
They're
It's
very
so
inviting.
funny because you hear a lot of negative things of like, you know,
Nigeria.
like, you know, Nigeria, even Ghana too. Like I always hear people say, "Oh, it's bad." But then like,
Corruption,
but it's
poverty.
like I know I have so many Ghanaian friends that like they go and they have a blast, and I'm like, man, I want to come next time with you
Yeah.
guys. Like I have to.
You gotta
Gotta
tap
take
in.
a trip back to the motherland.
Back to the motherland.
Back to the motherland.
So you can come back with an accent like this.
It's been a pleasure,
Yeah,
man.
been a pleasure.
I gotta come back. We got a lot more.
We
can
got
talk
a
about,
lot,
man.
there's a lot to talk about, you know what I mean? But we gotta go to this Nigerian party.
Yeah, let me pick
You
up,
know,
let me
pick
my
up the ones.
my ones.
Hey, listen, man. Make sure you follow Femi Lawson,
Yep.
Mr. Tantalization. Don't miss none of the vibes that he throws. Tap in, watching his shows. Bria Mac Gets a Life, right?
Or
Watch out for the playlist, the Tantalization playlist.
yes.
Big things are going on, you know what I'm saying, all year round, 2024. Richdiet Podcast. I'm your host, Aaron Bills.
Zico.
In the building, Femi Lawson.
fine boy, no
We
pimples.
out. Peace and love.
Jeez.
Peace.